This week on the Dingbat District, I might just start a cult. I think it'd be pretty good. Me, Fonzo, and someone else were sitting there with Nathan like, dude, you did well at the last show. He was on Bangers, and he did great. It was a tough crowd with what was going on, which was part of it.
That was the night of the competition. I wanted to stay and watch that.
Oh, yeah, I remember because I had just gotten there, and y'all were leaving. I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah. We were carpooling.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I wanted to go, but it's McKinney. And from here, I'd live on the other side of the fucking Metroplex. So driving to Dallas, and then you're like, well, I could drive another 45 minutes to McKinney.
Yeah, no, Nathan's cool. We went to we did Rose City together.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
Really well.
Hell yeah, man. Rose City is awesome. They're really making something down there, and I think it's still on its streak of selling out. Like, didn't y'all start that?
No, so we were on a Friday show. I think the Saturday ones have been selling out.
So the Friday show I was on was the one that sold out, I think starting the streak of maybe Fridays, I guess. So, no, it was the week before. It wasn't mine. The first Friday. Oh, that's right, because y'all were on, there was a week where I didn't know, and then the week after is when I came, because I was talking to y'all about it specifically, and they started the week in between us selling out on Fridays, and had sold out on Saturday too, and then... who was it? Oh, Kevin. Kevin went up recently.
Deanda.
Yeah, and he's still the street.
Big ups to Kevin Deanda.
Big ups,
Kevin.
dude. I love Kevin. He's he's really strong with the sobriety shit too, and I really respect that.
He did Rose City last night with Andy Franklin.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking that was recently.
Yeah.
And he just did it 2 weeks ago too. So he's really coming up, and it's really great to see. Oh, Blake's not doing anything. Okay, but
okay, cool.
Okay. So, that's fine. I figure we were, and I was about to start it, but that is a great way to start this episode. We've got a episode favorite, we've got a channel favorite, we've got a house favorite, Zeus favorite, and my mom's favorite from the competition I got DQ'd at. Returning to the podcast, y'all get ready. Thank you, CAIN, for coming back on. Please plug up your socials real quick.
Thank you for having me. My socials are really the only one I care about is Instagram. I'm trying to build that follower count up. It's Funny CAIN, so that's funny and then CAIN_.
Right.
And if you go on there, if you click my link in the bio, everything else is there.
Hell yeah.
I have upcoming shows on there. I got all the other socials, but I'm just trying to build that Instagram following up.
Hell yeah. And CAIN is one of the dudes in the scenes right now that's actually popping. He's always working when I look on his Instagram feed, he's always doing something new. He's always got a show coming. So y'all check him out. If you're in the area, please come follow CAIN, see what he's got coming up. He's even gone to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I did Oklahoma in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that was crazy fast too. You are getting strides and leaps and bounds over some of these other people, and you man,
I appreciate that. Whenever people tell me they're like, you're popping up everywhere, you're just working a lot. I don't feel that way.
Right. You shouldn't.
I feel like I just post everything that I do.
Yeah.
So that it looks like I'm doing more.
Exactly. That's the number one thing that people that are booking comics are coming for is, does he have any sort of presence? Does he at least facilitate himself as someone who's staying busy?
Yeah.
And you're one of those people, and you're definitely doing well. There are people that haven't been on a show in months, and you've got something. It seems like you're averaging every other weekend now.
I do probably 3 weekends a month.
That's incredible, dude. I'm so cheers, buddy.
How often are you doing the 2-6 Mafia stuff?
Right now I have 2-6 Mafia. I do all my shows through Dallas Comedy Club, and they have me basically on contract every other month.
Yeah, man. And I saw that something was coming out to announce.
Yeah.
And this comes out later. Can we talk about what you were coming up to announce?
So I had the next 2-6 Mafia show is going to be in May.
Hell yeah. Okay.
And since this is coming out early or later,
yeah,
I can just go ahead and say the lineup. I haven't even announced it yet.
Really?
Yeah, but I'll
I'm
say it
that's
Nice.
right now.
that's 2 show announces, 2 episodes in a row. This is gonna be good.
We're killing it.
So,
Hell yeah, man.
Let me see. So on the lineup, we're gonna have me, Dexter Givens,
Great,
Carletta Kay,
great.
Gary Nettles Jr.
I don't know if I've met him or seen his stuff yet.
He usually does Arlington Improv.
Oh, okay.
Big A, who's kind of new to the scene.
I love Big A. I was
But
just
he's
telling Blake
great.
he's coming on in 2 weeks, I think, for an episode.
And we're gonna have Kalana Spiller headlining that one.
Oh hell yeah, dude! She's also shout out to her, Peyton Payne. She's on the headliner on her Black Sugar show coming
Black
up.
Sugar, yeah.
Hell yeah, man!
Shout out Peyton.
This is amazing. Like, y'all have really not taking over a scene because I'm not sucking your dick here, but y'all,
You kind of are.
yeah, I kind of am. But y'all have like really made something for the young guys in the scene. Like, y'all are early into this, and you're actually doing things for other people to be able to do. You're a facilitator for people in the scene, and that's fucking great.
Yeah, it's just so like my little clique that I roll with, it's me, Peyton Payne, Kenny Lee, and Taylor Weddington.
Of course.
Or Taylor P. We're still deciding. But yeah, the 4 of us, we just kind of all clicked together very naturally, and we all started around the same time,
Right.
and we're all pretty much progressing at the same level. It's been going great for all of us, and I think it's easier to do that when you have a group around you, especially when y'all are all pretty
Like-minded.
much at the same level, like-minded. We're all extremely funny, and I think it's one of those things where it's like as a comic, you need to be around other good comics
Right.
to have something to aspire to.
Yeah.
And so if we're all motivating each other to be better, we're all, that's why in 1 year's time, we've all risen up as quickly as we have, because we all keep pushing each other. We all keep each other accountable. Never has any one of us been like discouraged and anyone else is like, yeah, you should stop.
That was actually one thing I was about to bring up, in that the hang is a big part of comedy for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started about 18 months ago at this point, the hang was in Fort Worth at Fort Worth Hyenas. And since then, the hang has died there. It has become doom and gloom in Fort Worth. But I drive all the way to DCC because even when I'm not doing the mic there, because it's hard to get on, I would much rather drive 45 minutes to come hang out with y'all than go sacrifice my 5 minutes and mental sanity to go to a doom and gloom like hang.
Yeah. I am when it comes to open mics,
right?
I only speak for myself on this. I do believe you should get as many reps as possible.
1,000 hours or 10,000 hours.
I also think the quality of those reps matter.
Yeah.
And there's certain mics that I won't name that I just don't go to because I'm not going to go and do 5 minutes in a room of 3 people.
Right.
Because what feedback am I getting? How am I getting any better?
Yeah, and even when I still have a point, because honestly, I have nothing to do. If I didn't have a podcast or comedy, I'd literally sit on my ass and play Madden. I'd have 100 overall white running back on the Miami Dolphins instead of a 95.
No. Before I did comedy, I did nothing to. I mean, I worked on like my cars and stuff, but like
right, like it's just a whole bunch of keeping your hands busy to do nothing, like nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, I'll still regularly hit Monday mics, but it has to be the ones that count. Like, whether it's Comedy Arena and what Kevin has done there and brought that back, or I'll even go to 1851, which is usually more of a dead crowd, but it's a different audience because that is Arlington's oldest gay club.
Yeah.
And just going to hang out there, it's good to have that different vibe, and also a vibe of a good environment, but not many people.
Have you signed up for, do you know Stefan?
No, but I keep wanting to do. Is his mom?
Yes, the Monday night open mic at Alexander's in the Gayborhood.
Yeah, I really want to do that. It's just it starts at 9 or 10 on a Monday. That's the only thing.
Yeah, so like I was saying about like quality of mics, I won't typically like seek out to do a bar mic,
right?
Just because I'm really trying to work on my material, and if the crowd's not paying attention, and I understand there's some comics that'll be like, oh, well, you got to go out there and try to grab their attention.
Nah, man. They're here for
Sometimes
dinner.
they're not into it. Yeah.
Like, at this point, the longer I've been in comedy, the more I understand people hating us at bar shows.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, damn, I came here for a piece of pizza, and now this guy's talking about dick.
Well, okay, so, like, me, like, I'm Mexican.
Right.
I go to
Oh, are
Mexican
you?
restaurants. Yeah. Surprise.
I didn't know,
Yeah.
Kane.
Do you just call them restaurants?
Well, I go to Mexican restaurants quite frequent. I hate when there is live music playing at Mexican restaurants. It is so loud. So
It's tough.
loud, and I'm just trying to eat. And I think that a guy that's an accountant that's trying to get dinner at his favorite bar on a Monday, and then he hears someone going out there and be like, my uncle touched me when I was 7. He doesn't want to hear that shit.
No. He's going to think about it. He doesn't want to think about that time that it happened when he was 17.
Yeah. So, like, also, I think, like, as a comic, like, and again, I try not to speak for everyone, but isn't our goal to work in the clubs?
Yeah.
So shouldn't we be trying to hit as many club mics as possible to get into that club atmosphere?
Right. And like that's a whole thing that I've had to face is I was talking about it as soon as we started the podcast, but I got DQ'd from DCC, and at the same stretch of time I had gotten DQ'd from DCC on a competition. I had gotten fired from my club door guy job. I'm not going to say the name.
Mm-hmm.
It really like took that 2 or 3 different things just kind of kicking me in the to go like, yeah, I do need to change. Jim Jeffries is the only comic who is never clean to start.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like when you start off, you're so headstrong in like your artist mindset.
I'm the greatest.
Yeah, and
I'm the best. Nothing
completely.
I write is shit.
Yeah, we all get that because in our head, yeah, we all are the best.
Right.
No one does this and thinks they're not good.
Yeah, you're always a narcissist if you're a comic. You're just it's the level of that's on a spectrum too.
So, I get that, but also you can't be that person until you prove you're that person.
Right. Like it's the difference between cocky and shown. Like did you ever watch or follow college football at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie.
There was a dude named Baker Mayfield.
I know Baker.
Okay, yeah. So
not personally, but
right. So he was the guy that did the very disrespectful, planted the flag in the middle of the OSU thing, and everyone called him cocky. But I was like, no, man, he's one of the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time. He has numbers that he's proving constantly. He's backing it up. He's Eddie Murphy. He's live spoken. Yeah.
I know. I completely agree with that. It's just like I don't know. I think because also Dallas with comics, this city is so good to work in. Yeah. Like we have 9 clubs where there's headliners on weekends.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's subtly because we started here. You're like, damn, this is really kind of a good place. And then you go somewhere else, you're like, damn, Dallas is a good place. Like it's a good
you
spot.
Go other places to do anything, and you see how Dallas comics will kill in other spots.
Yeah.
Also, Dallas audiences are tougher to make laugh.
Yeah, they're not there for
seen that. Like, there's no like prolonged laugh. Like, there's the ha ha ha.
Okay,
Stop.
so it's synonymous with white crowds. Mm-hmm. White people go ha ha. And you're like, oh, what the was that? That was such a big explosion of a laugh for 2 seconds. What the hell happened? You lunatic.
Yeah. But because of that, like, there is enough room for everyone to work, but also like because there are 9 clubs, you can hit a club mic every night.
Right.
Like right now I'm taking Mondays and Tuesdays off from comedy because I have a little project car that I'm working on.
Oh. Project car. Not as cool as a different project, but still cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, I have a little BMW station wagon that I'm
very
putting
nice.
together. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw that picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
You have the 2-6 Mafia pictures on it.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to make it at least a little comedy related.
You got to hit up. You got to hit up Devin Rogers with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Devin, Black Mayonnaise. I love that guy.
I fucking love him so much.
But yeah, so like Mondays you can do Comedy Arena. Tuesdays you can do either Plano House of Comedy or Arlington Improv. Wednesdays is DCC and also Dallas Hyenas now once a month.
Yeah. Is the mic still a thing too? Is it after the roast battle?
Yeah, so they're doing their mic now once a month on Wednesdays after the David Lucas roast battles.
Okay. That's what I thought, and I've heard some like they took it away from us as punishment. I'm like, they're not doing that, but
they wouldn't do that.
It does punish us a little bit because they didn't get enough people out to the mics to make money. Which
I
still
get
it.
Their block system was set up, it discouraged a lot of people from going.
Oh,
but they're still doing it.
Yeah, it's just for whatever reason, no one wants to do a late mic. That's the one thing New York has over us is they have late mics and people are there for it.
Yeah, but also we all work and have to drive everywhere. Like,
Yeah, there are so many comics though that just seem to not have a job.
it's crazy. I don't know.
And
how
then
they
you
do
talk
it.
to them, and then they have a job, and you're like, how? I see you
They-
first in line at
Yeah.
every single open mic for early sign up at 4. Like, where are you coming from?
I don't get it. Thursdays there's a back door.
Yeah, I need to get into Backdoor. I need to actually sit down and write out a clean set and just sit there and just over and over again.
So I wouldn't consider myself like a dirty comic.
No,
but
you're not.
I will say
You can
that
play it up when you can.
I cuss a lot.
Okay.
So that's probably the only thing I've had to do to adjust a little bit. There's certain topics that I won't do at
Right.
Backdoor, but Backdoor is great. The room there is small,
Mhm.
but like the crowd is always a little bit older. They're I won't say tighter, but like getting a light chuckle in that room is murdering. You like
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like they're snobs.
no. I don't want to talk bad about the Backdoor crowd. I love Backdoor.
That's what I've heard is that like it's one of the only places where you still have to like really earn respect.
You do.
Like
do.
you really have
And
to earn it.
I think that's important. I think a lot
Yeah.
of newer comics are a little bit intimidated by it, and I understand. Like sometimes I am still too.
Mm.
But also, it's 3 minutes clean. I mean, if you can't do that,
Oh, yeah, it's
you
3
shouldn't.
minutes.
You shouldn't be here to begin with.
Yeah, that's my thing is like I'm not worried that I can't write a clean set. My problem is I stutter and stammer a lot, and as
Yeah.
soon as I stutter and stammer, I say like
Yeah.
it's just a recurse.
And you see people slip up all the time.
Yeah, and then from what I heard, it's just Linda gives you a mic, and then you can come back next week or whatever.
Yeah, Linda just talks to you, and she's like, "Hey, just don't do that."
Yeah.
But love Linda. That is one of my
She's-
favorite people in the
she's so
Dallas
sweet.
scene. She's so sweet.
When I was working at that club, she would come in a lot and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get on a show. If there was a spot, she'd get on. If she couldn't, she'd just hang.
Yeah.
And she was always so nice. It was just a nice presence to have around.
Yeah.
It was like our comedy grandma. It was great.
She's done so much for the Dallas comedy
Right.
scene.
With the Backdoor alone, her
Yeah.
and her friend just keeping that alive.
Jan, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Jan
That
Norton
was-
passed away.
That was so
a
sad to
couple
hear.
months
I never
ago.
even met her, but I've heard like how much Jan has done.
I
and-
had never met her in person, but I talked to her on the phone a couple times
Right.
from just doing Backdoor, and it was just yeah, man, it was a big blow to the Dallas comedy scene for sure for her to be gone. And I went to the memorial they had at Backdoor, and it was really moving to see how many lives she had impacted.
Right. I mean,
And-
she's got every comic, like, or every comic should be thanking her around here if they've done anything. Like,
Yeah.
if they're a person, they've done something with Backdoor.
Yeah, and that's the other great thing about Backdoor is like doing those Thursday mics. Getting past at Backdoor should be a goal, I think, for most comics, because if you don't have any shows on the weekend, that's pretty much a guaranteed spot where you can go up and get some time on the weekend.
Right. Yeah. It's like I always hear stories because I listen to a lot of New York comics and especially their podcasts. And what they talk about when they're passed at clubs is that it used to be the place where you either hung or got your food for the night. And like it created such a good atmosphere of comics that whether you ate or not, you came and hung around. And that just made the club even better because everyone was coming up from having a good time at the table
Yeah,
and then got on stage in a good mood.
yeah,
Like that's the that we need to create here.
yeah. And Backdoor is like that because I've hung out there on the weekends before.
That's
and
cool.
The comics there are great.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
it's all the older dudes.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, I need to go there just to learn from those guys because it's the Scott Cripps, Jimmy Nelsons, Lawrence
Yeah.
Rosaleses, the
Lawrence,
guys that are actually like doing that's worth.
Yeah,
Like,
Dez is up there all the time too.
oh, this is so funny,
Dez
man.
is hilarious.
Were you around that day that not gonna? I don't even know his name, so I can't really on him. But that new guy was hanging around, and like he just sat next to us, and he was from an intro
I was
class.
Yes.
The looks that everyone was giving around the table.
But see, and that's what I love about Dez. He's not the type to be like, I'm Dez O'Neill. I've been doing this for however long.
Oh, dude.
He's very welcoming. I won't say talkative,
No,
but
no.
he will never tell you not to hang around.
Yeah, dude. And the first time I met him, and thank God he's like that because I made such of an ass of myself in front of him. I just never met him at this point, and I'd probably seen him on shows and didn't recognize him. I'm like, oh, hey, man, did you just start? He goes, nah, nah. And then Steve Walsh, like, I think he hit me in the back of
Yeah.
the head. He goes, he's the guy around here. He's one of the guys
Yeah.
around here. I was like, oh, no.
No, he's great. Me and Dez did Brazos together in Waco. Brazos
Oh, yeah,
Theater.
dude. And That looked like it was a hell of a time. How was that?
That was probably one of the best shows I've ever been a part of.
That's so cool. What, is it like a traditional theater?
No, I think it's like their local theater. The people of Waco put on plays there.
Right.
But it's a great place to set up your camera and get a new 15-minute recording to send out to clubs and stuff.
Hell yeah, man.
But Dez headlined and he did 45 minutes and there was no air left in the room.
Dude, like when it gets hot because everyone's blowing out just hot CO laugh air.
When I tell you he murdered for 45 minutes straight, there was no lags. There was no lulls in his set. It was just straight. It was like watching like an assassin. It was just orchestrated, just kill, 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 kill.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe you get from it. You don't have to watch his stand up, but exactly what you were saying. He's not the guy that's talking a lot or going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Because he's confident enough because he knows he's going to murder. And like as soon as he walks on stage, he can sit outside and do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
He's just that dude. Like the quiet, what do chicks talk about? Like having the guard dog energy.
Oh, like the mysterious
big dog.
vibe.
Yeah. He's that dude. You're like, what's this dude about to do? But it's going to be good.
No, he's great. And, once you like actually get to know him, great person to talk to.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking funny.
He loves conspiracy theories.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
dude, it's gonna be one of those points where I'm just being a dick writer and just like looking up conspiracy theories to tell him. Have you heard about this
You're
one?
gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hey, Des."
I just become an editor on the page.
Have you heard about this one, Ray?
You heard about the Manson one.
Oh, man. So I did have a funny question, and we talked about it a little bit beforehand, but I want to delve deep into this one.
Oh, okay. Before we do that, can I say something?
Of course, buddy.
I brought you gifts.
You brought me a gift?
2 of them.
Oh, I want to give you a kiss. What'd you... You sweet, sweet man.
God, I'm getting blown and kissed here. This is a great podcast.
I'll make sure to turn off the cameras, CAIN.
Well, don't turn them off. That's how we make the money.
So
Blake,
I know
if you want an intern.
A plethora of posters here.
Buddy.
I don't know if you are a...
They're going up.
Yeah. I don't know what you are musically, but that is a to Tyler the Creator poster.
Oh, dude, that's fucking sick. That's awesome, man. To be honest, I don't even listen to Tyler the Creator, but that's something I just want to look at. Like,
It's very interesting, and I've had it for a while, but I didn't know where to put it in my home without disturbing guests. So I was like, well, this is like almost my second home. So we can hang it up here. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've got a king-size bed that's just waiting for you to make a spot next to me. You cutie patootie.
And then I have, secondly, this is more business related. This is a signed poster from our holiday show from 2-6 Mafia.
Yes, dude, this is going up in the blank spot. That's
signatures from everyone that was on the show.
Hell yeah, dude.
One of the signatures on here is very special. I don't know if you
it's
recently.
Yours.
Well, yes, mine as well. But
for the cam.
Did you hear about Jay Agbon?
Yeah.
So he sadly passed away.
That was a really sad day.
He was in town, and I let him hop on this show. It was my first time meeting him. He was a very cool guy to talk to.
Really?
And his face is not on the poster, but his signature is right here.
Wow, dude.
So, oh man, I got chills just talking about it.
I literally just got chills too.
But yeah, he was a great guy.
Man.
Really, really, really interesting to talk to. Just great in the comedy scene. Oh, yeah. But yeah, he started off here in Dallas, went up to New York. He was killing it out there. He was here just for like a Christmas break, whatever, to be with family. He was at the club, and I told him I was doing this big show, and I gave him a guest spot. He murdered. We got photos of him at the show. And then that following Tuesday, I did Plano House of Comedy.
Oh, yeah. I was there for that.
You were there.
Yeah.
And he was on that show as well.
Oh,
and
man.
so I saw him up there, and we talked again, and he was just saying, like, thanks for letting me be on the show. I was like, bro, thank you for even wanting to be on it. And yeah, just we kind of connected a little bit, and then we didn't talk after that at all. But it's so weird because not even like a month before he passed, like he had just popped in my head, and I was like, when he comes back next Christmas, I hope I see him again.
Right.
Because I knew he was going to be back in town, and then I saw the news when he passed, and that is crazy to see.
Yeah, man. It was one of those things where I never met him. I had just seen him at that Plano House of Comedy thing, like from a distance, and he seemed like a cool guy. Everyone gravitated towards him, and he had, like what we were saying with Dez had, he had a very calm, cool, very nice vibe to where everyone wanted to serve. Like he was a nucleus. Like,
great guy. So I'm glad we were able to get his signature on here, and I'm glad we can be able to put it up in here.
I'll get a frame for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. But we got me on here. We got Arun on here, Andy Franklin, Fonzo, Parker.
Family favorite, Parker.
So
yeah, dude, this is a great one. Liz Splatt's on here. She's big in Austin now.
Liz Splatt, me and her went to elementary school together.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And she was supposed to do this show, but I think she got sick and she had to drop out right before.
Yeah.
So her signature is not on the poster, but she was part of the original lineup.
Dude,
and then we ended up replacing her with Jaime Garcia.
Oh yeah.
The one that's on tour with Ralph and stuff.
Yeah.
And so his signature is right here.
That's not the one who Kenny got to roast, but I remember Kenny saying he got to meet him as well. He did a Dallas roast against Ralph's friend Luis something.
Yes, I'm blanking on his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was Luis something, and Kenny was saying, like, they're all awesome. They're all the greatest people. They're so nice.
No, they're super cool.
They were inviting him to hang. And he's like, I don't know if I ever will, but just them inviting me to hang was all I needed for 3 years to feel good. But, man, that's so fucking cool. I really appreciate that because this is a piece of history that I get to keep here.
Yeah, and I have posters from all the other shows we've done. They're just not all signed yet.
Right.
So next time I come back, I'll bring you a different one.
Awesome, man. I love that, and we'll keep it going for sure. This place needs a little more. Oh, dude, how sick would it be just for the guest if they were on the ceiling after a certain point?
Oh, that would be cool. And I also noticed you have one of our show posters that we did together.
Yeah, man, that was a fun one. That was a fun one where I gave myself 10 minutes instead of 12.
Yeah. There I am right there with my big fat face.
Your big beautiful face. You shut your mouth. I'm gonna kiss all the square inches of that. Dude, this was a very fun show because like what we were talking about earlier with the bar vibe.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they were gonna react because this could have just been someone's. Was that a Thursday night that we were doing that?
Friday.
Okay,
yeah.
That could have just been someone's Friday night.
Yeah.
And
it was a very chatty crowd.
Yeah.
But it was a brewery, and I don't know if they were expecting us or not.
From what I can tell, because I did one night where I guest hosted for Josh for his trivia night.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just a fan of Josh, man. Like
Josh is great.
I love Josh, and I was going around talking to people afterwards saying thank you for coming out and keeping supporting this, even though Josh wasn't here. And he's like, yeah, man, we'll do anything that Josh does. Like, we love Josh so much. Do you know when he's doing this and that and the other, and when this is happening again? I'm like, oh yeah.
So I did. I think the very next week after that, I did another show with Josh at Four Corners in Dallas.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And when I was getting ready to like go up or whatever, my cousin walks in, and I was like, "Oh, cool! My cousin came to see me. I haven't talked to her in years."
Right.
Also, she's older. She's like in her 30s or 40s, right? And have not spoke to her at all. I was like, I didn't even know she followed me on Instagram. That's crazy. So I see her and I like wait. I was like, hey, what's up? And she goes, oh my God, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm performing. I'm on the poster.
You're not here to see me.
And she goes, oh no, my boyfriend just loves Josh. We go to all his shows.
That's so fucking great.
She didn't even know I did comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
What a way to find out.
But yeah, no, I love Josh. Me and Josh have done probably like 3 or 4 shows together already. He's always great.
Yeah, y'all were on something at Comedy Arena together, weren't you?
Yeah, with we did Kevin DeAnda show, the Keynotes with Kevin.
Yeah, and that one. Oh, am I thinking of Keynotes with Kevin, or am I thinking of the variety show? Because he did a variety show with Josh too recently, where he had a couple musicians come on as well.
I'm not sure. The Keynotes is where he has the live band, and it's a storytelling show.
Oh, that's cool.
So you go up there, you tell a story for like 10 to 12 minutes, and then you have a band with you. So you're like, hey, for this part of the story, let me get like a jazzy beat, and they'll like play something in the background. Like
those are my favorite. Do you ever have you ever seen Jessica Curson, her stand up?
No, I don't think I have.
She's a 55-year-old, maybe 60-year-old Jewish lady, and she does like mostly crowd work specials now because that's the thing. And she always has a live band when she does it at the Cellar.
Oh,
and
that's
she
cool.
is fucking amazing. Like she's one of the best at like pulling away from a bit to use it to come back to it, like just as a misdirect. Like she'll shit on this guy for 5 minutes straight, and then she'll start shitting on this guy across the table just to bring it back to this guy.
Yeah,
and
she's looking for like one thing just to tie it back around.
Exactly, dude. She's a murderer. Like you would love her if you would look her up.
Have you heard of I'm telling everyone about this, by the way. Have you heard of Jacqueline Novak?
No, who's this?
She's a stand-up.
Blake, will you pull up a picture of Jacqueline?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh my god!
Really?
If you love I won't say it's for everyone,
right?
But one of the best, probably like well-written stand-up shows that I've seen. So smart. Like I like stand-up where it's like one person says the same sentence 4 times in different words.
Oh yeah, just using the juxtaposition of different things. Yeah,
there she is, right there.
Okay, so is she an unsung hero? Oh, that's not her. That's that
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
So Natasha Lyonne directed her stand-up special.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no shit.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So basically,
and she's a model.
Maybe, I don't know. She went to college with Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
Oh yeah.
And she was part of the same improv team with the two of them.
Wow.
And then I guess she started doing stand-up in New York, and she wrote like this 90 minutes, or I guess like the beginning of it.
Right.
It was just like a one-woman show that she was putting on in New York. And she did that for like 4 or 5 years straight, and it was just constantly like evolving. And then it got to the point where she was like, I'm ready to film it.
Yeah.
So she was literally running the same 90 for about 5 years before it got filmed.
Oh, so it's fine-tuned.
Oh, it is.
It is Las Vegas ready.
Yeah, no, she said that if they would have gave her 2 hours, that it wouldn't have been, that it would have just been her, like, because the show is so fast-paced the way she's speaking.
Yeah.
She's like, it would have just been 30 more minutes of that. She's she's like, I am a writer, and I will write and write and write. And she's like, if they would have given me another 30, I would have filled it.
That's so funny.
But,
as soon as you said that, I started thinking about the Seinfeld episode of Kathy Griffin's one-woman show talking shit about Jerry Seinfeld.
I have not seen any of Seinfeld.
Really?
Yeah.
I get it. It was one of those things where if I saw it young, I would turn it off. But now that we're in the game, it's more fun to come back to.
I've thought about going back and watching, but I don't have time to even watch current shows. So.
Right. Yeah.
But her special, it's called Get on Your Knees.
Ooh.
And it is
sexy.
It is 90 minutes of her talking about blowjobs, but in the smartest way you could ever think. Like it's all metaphors and similes, and it's beautiful.
Wow. A Genius Ode to Fellatio by Rolling Stones. What a thing to have Rolling Stones say about you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen the Muhammad Ali of comedy by John Mulaney. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the quote that I saw that I was like, well, I got to see that.
Yeah. Did you watch Mulaney's newest special?
Yes.
Dude, when he pulled out that like stack of papers, I was ready to hate it.
Yeah.
Because I hate when people do that, and then he won me so quickly.
And that was at the very end of the special too.
Yeah, like I was almost pissed and like, oh, you're saving the stack of papers for the closer? Damn.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense.
Because the joke before that was so strong, it could have been the closer.
Right. That's exactly what I said. I was like, why didn't you just stop there?
And it's funny you bring it up because this is so fresh in my mind because I, on Friday, rewatched the special.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the most recent one? Oh, I'm addicted to, do you know Big J Okerson from Legion of Skanks and Bonfire?
Yeah, I know Big J.
His YouTube special, Dog Belly, is so fucking funny.
I haven't seen it yet. He came up with Kevin Hart, Bill Burr, all of them.
Yeah. Kevin Hart like actively doesn't talk about him now because like he was the white kid that went to all the Black Circuit shows with them. Like,
yeah.
So he came up with riding in the same car with Keith Robinson, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And what was it?
Patrice, yeah.
At some point. And then there was one other guy. Yeah, that was a big one. Oh. Everyone talks about, like, I really wonder if they're just bringing that up because he was passed away at this point or if they were actually true in that he was just starting to figure it out, like, post that special coming out, his last one.
I honestly, I believe it.
It made
Because-
sense because he went like it made sense because he went so much from just being on O&A and Tough Crowd to that special. That was such a big jump.
Whenever his style was so unique to him, where he could talk about such controversial topics,
Right.
it takes longer to figure that out.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say he probably was just getting it to the point where he had not a formula in his head, but he knew how to do it.
Yeah, he had his structure down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, as soon as you find your own structure of joke, whether you kind of just keep using that structure or not, it kind of doesn't matter. It does matter because you don't want to keep doing your same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
But once you've facilitated, like, maybe not even structure of joke, but you facilitated your own specific, unique cadence that someone could say, like, oh, Joe List the other day brought up ADI, another Dane impression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still go around and I'm like, how are you still doing Dane? Like,
Yeah.
how is he still someone that's stolen from?
Yeah. Who was there was the big one in New York that they said everyone followed.
I'm trying to think of the big dudes out there. Mitch Hedberg?
Mitch. I don't think Mitch could be replicated.
No,
People try to and they fuck it up. Yeah, but
there can only be one guy that
Yeah.
does non sequitur jokes like that.
yeah.
I mean, to have an hour of just one-liners.
And they're
It's-
like
you
knock
know-
knock jokes too.
Yeah,
like,
you know how much you have to write. The only other person that's done like knock joke style stuff was like Andrew Dice Clay,
Right.
but it was like
And he didn't ever have to write that well
No.
because it was just
was all-
built into the character.
it was rhymed, but they were all like super vulgar. Like it was also his own thing. Mitch's jokes are like almost childlike, but they're so good.
Yeah, the first time you hear a Mitch joke, you're like, what? That's not a good joke.
Or
that's
said
not
this
a great joke, I
before,
should say.
no one that isn't a comedy nerd loves Mitch Hedberg.
Yes. Yeah. Like, you have to love... it's the... and this is an unpopular opinion that I would think is unpopular from like 2 years ago, but it's the same thing with Attell.
David Tell, that's the guy I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Yes, that's
we
who I
came
was-
back to
yeah,
that.
That's what I was going to say. Everyone was trying to beat him. Yeah.
And have you watched his newest special, Hot Cross Buns?
It is on my list. I haven't seen it yet.
It's a great special. Will enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But someone that's not a comedy fan would not.
I think a lot of people that aren't big fans of comedy see specials and think they forget this is a performance.
Yeah.
They don't understand that it's almost like in their head they think, oh, this is who this guy is in real life.
Right. Like, we were talking about that on the last episode with Anthony. Like, of all things, you're going to take comedy seriously.
Yeah.
This is a joke. Like, it's in the name that you're not supposed to.
Yeah. But that also goes with like, as a comic, like, I don't ever want to drop the illusion.
No. I mean, the illusion is so much of everything, like, not even from stand-up, but the illusion of what they're really like is what drives human nature.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite professor I ever had in college, he was a federal government teacher. He got all of us the first day. He's like, yeah, y'all are going to find everything I say boring, but I worked in the White House with George W. Bush, and everyone was like, all right, you're the coolest guy ever. I want everything you say to be gold. And then he wouldn't tell us what way he went until like the last day of class. And he's like, I'm an independent. And everyone was like, that was a
That's a big letdown.
That was a letdown. There was so much climax all season that you made me like government.
That was like when I was in middle school, we had a teacher that would always like she would be turned and she would still know when we were doing something.
Right.
And everyone was like, what the fuck? How does this lady see us? Like, we had theories. We're like, does she have cameras? Is she just guessing? Like, we could not figure it out.
Right.
And then that was like in 6th grade. When we all graduated in like 8th grade, she was like giving a speech. And she goes, oh, by the way, I can see y'all in the reflection of the window.
Oh my God. That's like, man, from a comedy perspective, she
Yeah.
played such a long game for such a good payoff.
Yeah.
Oh man. Man, that's like having a 15-minute closing bit.
It's so great because it's so simple too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Yeah, because we were all
how'd
like,
you not think of that?
we were all like,
Damn it.
But yeah,
Oh.
that was I love like long payoffs on jokes. I think it's really funny because like,
You've got to be able to do it.
it's funnier in like real life than it is on stage.
Yeah.
You have to take a joke to the point where the person forgets about it.
Oh, yeah, and it's got to come back around in that it would have been funny if you told them immediately. Then if you waited a little bit of time, that's when they would have got it pissed. Yeah. It's got to come past that and been funny again.
Yeah.
That's when you get the payoff.
It's like the rule of threes where it's like 3 times it's funny, 6 times it's not, 9 times they're pissed, 12 times they're in stitches. Yeah.
It was. Did you ever listen to the old Millennial audio album of the Salt and Pepper Diner?
Yes.
I never thought Tom Jones's "What's Good Pussycat" would make a man come to tears.
Yeah.
But the only time it will is if it's preceded by, what's the other song?
I forget the other song.
The second Tom Jones song that everyone knows.
Yeah, because if you're in that diner, because I think he even said it to some guy, and it was like, "Thank God," you know.
The bit he has about the guy that just got his 30-day anger management chip.
Oh my God.
And then it comes on a 7th time. God damn it! And that's when the show went from good to great.
Oh man, Mulaney is great.
There's no one like him, dude.
I don't like when I try to watch my stand-up, I'm like, what is my style?
Right.
Because I still don't think I could even like put a name to it or anything yet.
We're 5 years away, in my opinion, from ever finding ours. At least 5 years.
Like, I know I like what I say, and I know I get good reactions, but like the type of comedy to me that's my favorite is like Mulaney, Dimitri Martin, Bo Burnham.
Okay. I would not have
Jacqueline Novak.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't emulate that on stage.
Yeah.
But like that's that style of like, I don't want to call it like smart comedy.
Right.
But it's like
more joke writers.
Yeah,
comedy.
It's more like writer based. I love that.
Well, it's more of an art at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to have that because as a comic, I'm at least at this point more of a storyteller than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my top people are Hedberg, and right now it's Joe List over Mark Norman because he's such a good joke writer. Like, I actively seek out these people that are joke writers because I'm a storyteller. Like, I have to.
It's almost like the opposite of what you're doing. It's not. Maybe it is like something you wish you could be better at.
Yeah, it's almost like mental reps. Like going back and watching old plays in football and something like that, trying to get something because I can't sit down and watch a Burt special. But I mean that's also because of Burt.
Yeah.
But
I can't either. So
yeah, but it gets tougher the more I tell stories to watch a storyteller.
Yeah,
and that's
why you like Ali Sadiq.
Love Ali.
I love Ali Sadiq.
But it's also Ali is one of those dudes that I actively seek out on like TikTok, which is incredible because he's got such long bits. But I don't think I've actually sat down to watch an Ali Sadiq special fully. But like I've probably seen 80% of the special.
His Domino Effect
right
series that he has of specials. They are incredible.
He has a series of specials?
Yeah, I think it's like up to 3 or 4 now.
Really?
But they're all just
Are they all similar themes or just
they're all just like stories from his life.
Okay.
But they're just like emotional roller coasters.
That's what I see. It's
because
when I see him sitting in a normal chair, not even like on a stool, but in a normal chair, I know shit's about to go like down.
I feel like there's been a big I don't want to call it a trend, but I've noticed recently in stand-up, a lot of popular stand-up has become very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Ali Sadiq is one of those people. Mulaney's last special.
Right.
Hassan Minhaj's last special. Who else? There's been a couple that I've seen where I'm like, oh, this is a lot that you're telling us.
Yeah, like we're getting a lot of context behind you, more than has ever been in like history of stand-up because everything was like jokey joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost to a point now where I feel like some audiences, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be like almost hacky to be emotional. And then, Neil Brennan, that was another one I wanted to say.
Yeah, Blocks was great.
Where it's going to be like, oh, you're trying to get the emotional reaction out of us because then you can hit us with a joke that we're automatically going to like break the tension on.
Yeah. It's kind of it's almost like people that write jokes that the initial punch does bad and then they wrote a punch after that, but in a completely different, like, Like he's writing it up to make you feel one way because he's got this thing on the other way that's gonna take you by. Yeah, that's something that I noticed, and I'm gonna ride his dick again. But Kevin was the one that kind of made me change because he said, I think he said he did a comedy class with Angela Walker, and she said everyone can tell when you're telling a lie. And
100%.
If it's not a story you're actually doing, then why the fuck are you doing it? And that's what I realized is all my jokes that I have that are based, even if it's based on a small truth but mostly made up, you can tell at some point that it's made up. Like, and I'm not Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's the only person that can make something up. It's obviously made up, and you're like, I'm here for it.
Yeah. That's how I got into stand-up, actually.
Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's 2001 special, Killing Him Softly.
Yeah.
HBO, where he has that big-ass blue button down.
Yep.
The one where he got 3 standing ovations in the middle of his performance.
That's incredible, dude.
When
middle, too.
When I watched that special, I realized most of the jokes that he were doing were just like sketches.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was
one of the
sketches being told as stand-up.
Right, and he's one of the only people. There are so many people that I'm not talking shit about but when I'm trying to like give them constructive criticism, one of the things I often find myself saying to someone is that's a more of a you had to have been there moment.
Yeah.
And there's nothing by that. It could still be the funniest fucking thing that's ever happened, but unless you're Dave Chappelle, you cannot convey that to an audience in the right way.
There's nothing wrong with telling a story.
Right.
And then realizing this wasn't as funny as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But this will still work on stage if I punch up a couple things.
Yeah. I'm going through that with a joke that I've had since the beginning where it's a real truth, but I got dunked on by Des Bryant. Like, there's so many like steps to it. Yeah. And like the part where I get dunked on and I say that his dick was in my face and I felt it. That's all true, but that's the only part that lands. The part where a year later I'm at a house party and he shows up out of nowhere and I ask if he remembers me and he does, never does anything. At a certain point I had so many people tell me it's just a story, but it ate shit one last time. Then I'm like, okay, it's just a story.
Yeah.
To tell. Like,
no one can tell you when to kill a joke. You got to kill it yourself.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like just really change in general. Like you have to hit your own rock bottom with whatever it is. Like when I got arrested and I got off booze, I was told forever, like, you're an alcoholic, you need to get off booze. And I said, fuck you. And it's the whole reason I'm a comic now, because if you tell me to do something, I'm going to, or if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I had to
harder than I would have if you wouldn't have said shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't touch that stove, bitch.
Yeah.
That's why I got restaurant hands. I can't feel shit.
Did you used to be back of house?
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah, back of house for too long. Prep cook at 16 is tough.
Oh wow.
It was too early.
I changed oil when I didn't get a job till I was 18.
Really?
But I was a lube tech I worked at Valvoline and then I worked at the Chevy dealership.
I was a lube tech in college, man, and that's a fucking, you learn to just hate random cars.
I now hate honking because of that. Because,
really?
Yeah, because
of dusting out the horn.
No,
and shit like that.
A car would pull up.
Oh, I see. Yes,
you would be walking towards it. I would make eye contact, and they would still honk like, "Hey, come here."
I was like,
what the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm walking towards you right now.
This isn't Get Out. I'm not going to pull a 90-degree angle and start going a different direction. I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Dude, that and like, or I have weird things about, I specifically hate all Cadillacs now because they have, it's not even top or bottom oil filters. It's in the middle and you got fucking, there's no hair on this side of my hand because it's just burnt off.
Buick Enclaves.
I almost got into a fist fight with a customer because I had 4 Buick Enclaves in a row. Yeah. And I threw my shit up and I was like, God damn it,
yeah, because the exhaust manifold is right there.
Right there, and you just burn your shit off.
Yeah, so when I started working at Valvoline, anytime we would get any GM car that had that motor, they'd be like, CAIN, do that one. Yep. And I was like, why? And they're like, because you're new and you have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while, but I got it. I got to a point where I wasn't burning myself anymore.
Yeah, and as soon as you really figure out how to use that stupid ratchet strap they have, whatever that thing is, Like, it doesn't make any, like, it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I just know if I do it correctly, it works.
So when I was working at the Chevy dealership, a Tahoe came in that had an aftermarket exhaust on it.
Oh, God.
And the way it was ran, it was like right next to the oil filter, and it was hot. It just pulled in. And when I finally got the oil filter loose, my arm slipped and it hit right on the exhaust. I forget which arm it is. I don't think the burn mark is there anymore. I think it was this one. It was like right here.
Yeah.
And
is that it? Like a little further?
I think it's right here.
Yeah.
But I also burned myself working in the kitchen
a lot
on like this arm.
Yeah, I burned that.
Oh yeah.
That's from a nut in an oven. Like, it was just like on the thing, and I picked up too quickly because I think someone grabbed my ass. But I like shot up and then it's fucking burned a little.
So when this, well, okay, I'll tell this one. So when I was working at a deli, we had some like turkeys in the oven.
Yeah.
And I had the oven mitts on, and I pulled it out, and I guess I tilted the pan back too far, and it landed right here and burnt me. Oof. But this one, it was from the Tahoe with the oil filter.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, I was in the middle of the shop, and I go, oh fuck, and I went to the sink, and I was like washing it off, trying to cool it down.
Yeah.
And my boss was like, what happened? And I was like, I burned myself on that exhaust. He was like, well, hurry up. They got to get out of here. We got 6 more cars to do.
I know. It's such a...
And so I remember I fucking covered it up, and then it was all swelled up and nasty.
Blistering, yeah.
And that night I went to a concert, and as I was jumping up and down, like people were just rubbing up against it. Like it was just raw by the end of the night.
That's awful. But to make you feel better, because I completely forgot about this until you said Lube Tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story about how I fucked up someone's car. We normally didn't do any foreign cars.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't have all the equipment we needed. And this one time there was a Subaru came in, and I'd never worked on one, and my boss was like, well, we've got everything we should need.
You drained the transmission, didn't you?
Yep. Because they have 2 identical
they
bolts right next to each other.
I have a story too. So
$25,000 of an insurance charge on this company.
Oh,
because of my fuck up, and like they came to me, it was like $25,000 worth of insurance claim we had to make. And I was like, "Oops, sorry."
You're like, I don't even make that a year.
No, I made $9 an hour.
Yeah, me too. That's what. I know how much you made.
Yeah. I got burned alive daily. I'm tall, so I also had to work in the pit. And like I had to stand like this at all times. Yeah. Because it's 5 feet tall.
I hated the pit.
Oh, dude. Ours, they didn't have any insulation to keep water from coming in because it was underground. Mm-hmm. So on the bottom of our pit was always watery oil. Yeah. So we slipped and bust ass.
I think that's how most of them are.
That's what I thought. I was like, I fell down every single day.
No, it was disgusting down there.
It was so gross, and the only good part about it was because it was so gross, I'd just pee in the hole down there. Like it was like the bathroom was probably not that far, but it was still on the other side of the building. So I just take a break and I'd fucking don't come down.
So at our Valvoline, they had warned us. They had told us, they were like, these Subarus have a drain plug on the transmission that looks identical to the oil drain plug.
I'm so glad that I'm not alone.
They're like, so if you see this, take about 2 seconds to look at what you're doing and make sure you're draining the right one.
Yeah.
So we had a dude down there, I'm not going to say his name, but he was working in the pit, and they saw the Subaru come in, and my coworker, David, he yells, he goes, "Hey, make sure you drain the right one. These Subarus, the 2 drain plugs look the exact same, and one of them's for the transmission."
And he heard right as in right and left.
So he goes, "Oh, I drained both."
Oh my!
And I was like,
"What the fuck? Did you think it's just so it came out faster?"
So. Because we're all shocked by what a dumb answer that is, David just laughs and goes, "Why?" He was like, "Well, I figured one of them was the right one."
So in his own words, one of them was still the wrong one.
Yeah. He's like, "Well, I did drain the oil."
You're only half wrong at that point.
I used to have a football coach that always said, if you're going to fuck up going 100%. And
that's him. He must have the same coach as you.
Exactly.
That guy was a trip.
Oh,
we had one time we were, whenever we didn't have like cars to work on,
right?
We were just like in the break room, basically just watching like Wendy Williams, whatever's on daytime TV. Right?
That was me at Walmart. That was what was on always.
How you darn.
Before she went, whatever she has, the poor lady.
Yeah, I don't want to speak on that. But we were in there just sitting down. And
she looks crazy.
I said I wasn't going to say his name.
I'll bleep it for you, Kane.
He will not be named. That drained the Subarus. He was planning on going on vacation, but he hadn't told our boss yet. And so we're sitting there, and I guess like there came to a point where it was just quiet.
Right.
And he looks up and he goes, "Man, can't wait to go to Cancun." And our boss goes, "Oh," he was like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. When are you going?" He goes, "Tomorrow."
Did he get fired?
No, our boss was like, "You haven't said anything. You're on schedule." And he goes, "Well, I'm telling you now."
Oh shit.
Yo, I did the exact same thing as Voldemort over there. So I think we've talked about it before, but I have a fucked up shoulder because at one point I was in a boxing bullshit league, and
I didn't know you boxed.
Yeah, it was. I didn't box. I boxed.
Oh, okay.
It was just in someone's like front yard because we're white trash.
Okay, yeah, you didn't box.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I boxed someone. I did not box. Yeah,
I boxed for like 10 years.
Really?
On and off.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I need to get back into it.
I'm a Golden Glove champion.
Really?
Yeah.
And what like it was it just like at this one gym you go? How does that work?
So the Golden Gloves, I guess, like here through Texas, every time I went, it was like at one of the big Masonic temples.
Okay.
But that's where the competitions were always.
That's fucking cool.
And so one year I like was eligible to compete.
Right.
And then none of my opponents showed up, so I won by default. But I have a paper that says I am a Golden Glove champion.
Got that piece of paper, baby.
I'm not lying.
Still counts.
Yeah.
My friend CAIN, a comic. Oh, and also Golden Glove.
Golden Glove champion right here.
Put that on your resume.
But so the second fight is where I fucked up my shoulder. The first fight, I did the exact same thing as Gabe. It was on a Friday night, and it was like a 2-hour away thing that I had to drive through.
Yeah.
Or 2. And I didn't tell my boss. He's like, "So tomorrow, see you tomorrow." I was like, if you can find anyone else that's off, I'll pay them more money to take it, but I can't tomorrow. He's like, "What?" I go, I'm fighting. He's like, he goes, you're fighting already? What did this guy do to you?
That's so funny because like I've thought about it before. I'm like, if I got into an argument with like someone that lived in like Austin, and I was like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." I was like, then you have to be mad for 3 hours while you're driving. Just like, oh, I'm a fool when I get there.
Yo, okay. So I did that. I've done it. So I was dating.
I swear to God, every
Oh
time
my
Peyton
God.
and Kane are on, I cry laughing.
So I was dating this girl, and she lived 3 hours away. It was the only long-term relationship I will ever be in because of this. But
Long distance.
yeah, thank you. I probably won't be in a long term, but that's because of me.
Well, that's different reasons.
Whoops.
It has nothing to do with cars.
Yeah. So my first, this girl, we're on FaceTime together one night, and she's hammered. It was towards the end of us like being together as it is, anyways. And her friend that she's drinking with, she's friends with all dudes. I knew that going in. It wasn't a big deal. But then one of the guys that I had come to trust at this point walked up and slapped her, like bean dipped her tit. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And she's like, oh, don't come. We do it all the time. We're just drunk. And I was like, I don't give it. I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
I saw it. You're going to forget, but I won't. And I'm sitting there like, fucking Wyatt. Oh, shit. Fuck it. Wyatt, I'm going to come get that ass. Bro, are you fucking, what the fuck? And I'm driving. And at the time, like, it was before I'd ever gotten a speeding ticket. So I'm still speeding there. It was a 3-hour trip that I did in an hour and 55 minutes. And as soon as I got there, they had stopped drinking and gone home. And I was just at her house and I was talking to her mom. I was like, yeah, I kind of don't know why I'm here.
Wait. Okay, so you saw him Bean Dipper
on FaceTime.
On FaceTime. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the kicker is I had to go from a phone call angry to drive 3 hours, and I didn't. She was passed out asleep by the time that I got there, so I literally just sat there with her sister and mom and holding her cat, and just like, yeah, this happened.
Trying to think what I would have done.
I slept in my car too, and they didn't even like. They asked if I wanted to sleep on the couch. I was like, nah. If she wakes me up in the morning, she's not going to remember anything that happened. Y'all can fill her in.
Oh, my gosh. That's
that was a weird one.
Being in a relationship will do that. Even if it wasn't a relationship, but just like dating someone.
Yeah.
It leads you to do dumb shit.
Oh, of course.
Because like listening to that story from my perspective now,
it's always like, it's not a narcissistic thing, but it kind of is. You're like, if that was me.
Oh, I'm saying if that was me with my, like currently that I'm not dating anyone.
Right.
In my head, I'm like, oh, I would have just left her. But if I was dating someone and I saw that happen, I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah. Now looking back on it, I'm really just pissed that, like, I don't even care that it worked me up that much to drive 2 hours to go see this guy and do something about it. Like, I just want that gas money back. Like, what was I thinking?
I'd be more pissed that she was like, oh, we do that all the time.
Yeah. What? Yeah. You know, bring it up, maybe. Bring it up and warn your boyfriends.
Yeah.
Or date that guy. You're probably going to end up dating.
You should just date that guy.
Yeah. I still think she fucked that guy, so.
She probably did.
Yeah, she probably did.
Yeah.
That was the Valentine's Day episode. Remember we talked about that on
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We should probably never release that one.
We didn't release that one?
No.
That's good to know. That's probably good. I probably said some names in that one.
I think we both
Was that
did.
a solo episode? Or?
Yeah, we did.
Every holiday, me and him usually do like a
just y'all.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We did for Christmas. And Valentine's
so far we're
Day.
shooting 50% on shit we could put out.
What did I do on Valentine's Day? I don't even know.
Didn't you have a show? Didn't you do a Divine Femininity?
Divine Femininity.
Thank
that
you.
was for Women's History Month.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that was a beginning.
I was just
March.
thinking the pink background. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, that show originally was supposed to be for Valentine's Day,
right?
But it wasn't going to be an all women lineup. It was just going to be like a show about like talking about dating experience.
Was it before it was Divine Femininity?
Yes,
okay.
It was.
That's a hard
but
word.
I couldn't lock down yeah, I love coming up with long, convoluted names for shows. My next show is called Descendants of Grimaldi.
What the fuck
the
does
chocolate
that mean?
brand? Oh, I'm thinking of Gary
I don't
Deli. I'm
explain
so
art,
dumb.
Blake.
I'm so stupid. That was, at the same time, that was the dumbest and fattest thing I've ever said all day.
Did you say the pizza place?
No, I said the chocolate brand.
I was about to say, I'm glad you knew that, but I'm glad we were both wrong.
I like to make people think a little bit, okay? So I'm not gonna explain anything, but if you just want to type in like Grimaldi comedy into Google, you can figure it out.
How do you spell that?
With a G.
Goddamn right. G's moving silence like lasagna. I think
Go
because
ahead, pull that one up.
Pull it up, and then after that, I think we're gonna have to close out because I'm about to pee in this chair that I just got. Are these chairs comfortable from an outside perspective? You can shit on it if you like it.
I think it's fine. I can't lean back because then I'm too far away from the mic.
That's the thing, and like there is a thing where I like kick it back in if you do it the right way. But
R. And then I have to pull out my phone.
While this is going down, this will be a part we shorten into 30 seconds long. But
Go pee. We're gonna look up the spelling of this word. The show that I put together, I don't even know how to spell it. Jesus Christ.
I can't even pronounce it again.
Okay, we got G and R. We're good on that. IMALDI. Then you can just put comedy after that. See what pops up. There he goes.
What the fuck?
He's renowned as the world's first clown.
No shit.
Yeah. So I think he was the first one to do like white face paint and like have characters.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I called the show Descendants of Grimaldi just to be like, we're all clowns.
How'd you learn about this?
I typed in world's first clown into Google.
Were you sober when you did that?
I'm a sober person.
Okay.
Not like in the sense of like I went through some shit and now I'm sober.
Yeah, you've just always never been a...
Yeah, I've never done any drugs.
That's good.
I drink from time to time.
Yeah.
Well, so we have a little bit of time left. Do we want to delve deep into why you've never done drugs? Because this is such an interesting fucking story.
No, I've just never done them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I get that. Not what, but
I just they've never appealed to me.
right.
Yeah.
I also grew up like terrified of my dad, so I was
Yeah.
like, if he found out, that'd be not good for either of us.
Right.
And then I was like in my 20s, and I was like, well, I still haven't done them. No need to start now.
Yeah, that's weird. Like I was in the
I'm
same
past
way.
the age of like peer pressure, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I say that, but I'm not. Peer pressure. Peer pressure
am
would get me
too.
at 50. Like, do it. You're
Yeah.
a bitch. Do no.
No, I'm not. I'm not a
done-
bitch. Give me that crack pipe right now. Crack is one of those drugs where I'm like, maybe on my deathbed.
If I'm dying and someone says you got some time left, like very little time, I'm doing shit. Like
I think, okay, this is my thing with crack because I've seen what it does to people.
right.
I've never liked anything enough to give up everything else in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never in
Maybe
my
ice
life has
cream, but-
anything been that good for me. Right?
Yeah.
I can't even think of anything.
But maybe that's because you haven't found crack yet.
That's what I'm saying. So on my crack must be good
Crack. It has to be crack.
for you to want to throw everything away.
It's a fucking brilliant way of putting it.
I've never had pizza so good that I would be like, yeah, I'd go homeless for this.
Yeah, there's. I'd sell my house for more pizza money.
Yeah.
I would suck a dick for more
I gotta
pizza
get some of
money.
that pepperoni, bro.
My dad was close, like not crack, but
Pizza?
like, man, nah, pizza was never his bag. But like, he was a fat dude at one point. But his story that he always likes to tell me that we come from a line of drunks is
Mhm.
that my dad had land in Texas, like for hunting and shit like that. So it's worth a lot of money. And back in fucking, I don't know, the olden days, whenever he did it, he sold it for $75,000 for beer money.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink much anymore. As I'm looking at a bottle of whiskey this whole time.
No, I don't drink a lot. I get drunk maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Not
Yeah.
by like choice. It's just I know
It always happens by accident. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what it takes for me to get drunk. So no, not by accident. I have to plan out if I'm gonna get drunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine's by accident in that I know how much it takes, but then I look down and I think I'm on my second drink and I'm on my fifth. Just like that's always been my thing. When I was drinking, it was as soon as I opened a beer and took the first sip, I was having 15. But I didn't have to drink every night.
Yeah, you knew what it was gonna come to.
Yeah, mine's just like I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just a binger. Like
Yeah.
I binge everything I do.
I don't understand how some of the comics drink as much as they do because we do not get paid a lot.
No, that's like literally
That's
like
also one of my big hangups is like, if you buy, I went out Friday night and I got 2 drinks for myself and a drink for a girl that I was with.
right.
And my bill was like $45. And I was like, I don't understand how you could do this consistently.
Yeah.
And, like
And
it adds up. It's a lot of money.
Trust me.
it's yeah, Blake, we've all We've all been there.
But yeah, the last time I got drunk was on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just the time to do it.
Well, it wasn't even on the day. It was the day of the parade.
Yeah.
Here we went to the Greenville Avenue parade.
Those pictures look so fun.
It was
I wish
so
I could have
fun.
gone.
I got so drunk, but that was also the night that I was opening for Ryan Flanagan.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to get drunk today because, like I said, I have to plan it out. Because I'm a bigger guy. Like if I just go have 3 drinks, I'm still sober.
Yeah.
I need to have not ate, be hungry, and then take like 8 shots back to back for me to get drunk.
Dude, I've talked about that before in that was my plan on the weekends.
Yeah.
I had gotten skinny in college because I was not getting food so I can get a 30 rack of beer and drink 15 one night and 15 the next.
Because just get fucked up.
Yeah, because if I didn't eat and drank 15, that was the perfect mix for me when I was a shithole tank.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I know what it takes to get drunk, and I just am not interested in most of the time.
It becomes a chore.
Yeah, but that time with that I was opening for Ryan, I was like, I know the parade's this morning.
Mm-hmm.
If I go there, immediately get drunk, I know I'll be sober by 5, and then the show doesn't start till 7:30. So I still have time to shower, change. So I planned it to a T, and it all worked out perfectly.
You have an itinerary you're following down the street.
Like, so the people that I was drinking with at the parade showed up to the show, and they were still drunk.
I've heard some stories about that.
Oh, yeah. And as I walked in, I'm like, oh, my God, they're still
we were talking about those stories at the sandwich shop.
Yeah. And so they all thought I was still drunk, and I was like, no, I'm working.
I stopped.
Yeah, I stopped, and I got sober 2 hours ago.
I ate a sandwich. We're good.
That's what you don't realize is, if you time it right, you can sober up and live the rest of your day.
Yeah, unless you're in the holding tank with me where I had to wait till 3 p.m. the next day to blow a .08.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, that was a night. Apparently, I drank from 2 different bottles of tequilas at a bar. Like, not even tequila shots or anything like that. Like, I had bought a bottle of tequila, took the fucking ring off with my teeth.
Yeah.
And then was just, I don't know if I finished both
Why
of them.
do they put those rings on there?
They know none of us want it.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone wants a shot.
I hate those rings. Especially when you're trying to make like a big batch of drinks.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're just wasting my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's a great point for today. Thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
Yeah,
Please,
course,
once
man.
again, go
Thanks
ahead
for
and plug
inviting
up.
me out.
Yeah, man. This is always fun when I get to have you and your clique come on. This is one of my favorite groups of comedy or comedians that I get to hang out with.
Yeah.
So,
I came on here last time with Peyton.
yeah.
Love Peyton. We switched it up. We made it so that y'all can do this now. I say that very not humbly. Even though it's all Blake. Blake really switched everything.
Everything.
But we were the first episode that like Blake produced.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I'm like, yeah, man, we're the blueprint. We're
the kings of comedy right now.
But yeah, I know Peyton came on recently.
Yeah, she got to come in with Taylor, which was so much
that's
fucking
gonna be such a fun episode. Those are 2 of my best friends. I fucking love them.
That's the whole vibe I want too. Is I want revolving doors of like the same over the year. Hopefully everyone gets on in some form or facet 2 times.
Yeah.
Hopefully in a group and 1 solo.
Yeah. But thanks again for inviting me out. I love coming here. And like I said, Instagram, it's just Funny CAIN, CAIN, with an underscore. And if you're putting my name anywhere, please do it in all capital letters.
Yep.
It's just one name, CAIN. That's it.
It's like Cher, baby.
Yeah, just like Cher.
But better, because fuck Cher.
Well,
I wouldn't do it now.
that's your life, man. I can't tell you what to do. I would never say that.
That's all my opinion. CAIN has nothing to do with that.
I'm neutral on Cher.
He's pulling a Sweden. Oh God, if I hear "I got you, babe" one more time.
But yeah, I have a if you go to my Instagram, you click the link in the bio. I update that constantly with all my shows.
Right.
If you go on there, it says the name of the show and the day of the show. I have all my ticket links available. But yeah, just coming up like tonight, I'm doing stand up roulette.
Oh hell yeah, I saw that with
Dallas
Kinsey.
Comedy Club. Yeah. I'm doing a show coming up with RJ Prince at the
oh yeah, we're on that one.
Fort Worth Hyenas.
Yeah, that was gonna be so much fun. It's supposed to be a game show setup, so y'all come out to Fort Worth Hyenas, the Red Room, on April 19th.
Yeah, we're doing
that
that
might not
one.
come out by now.
Yeah, probably
No.
not.
No, probably not.
But yeah, we're doing that one. After that, we got Other shows, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I'm doing a Cowabunga soon with Niaz and Vinny.
I was talking with Niaz the other night about how much that scene has changed a whole lot for them too.
Oh, they're doing great.
They just got a third place that's just now starting out.
Yeah.
And he was telling me the whole setup. I'm not going to air dry his shit on my podcast, but he's got a lot of shit coming up. So go check out Niaz Shabazi. Check out FunnyCain _ on Instagram. Go to his link in his bio. Check out all the 2-6 Mafia shows coming up.
Yeah, we also have Hector Cifuentes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're doing a show with him at Top 10 Records in Oak Cliff on Jefferson.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's at a record store. It's the oldest record store in Dallas, I believe.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
That one's going to be on April 21st, so almost like a 420 show.
Right.
But that one's going to be really fun. Outside of comedy clubs, doing shows at like little spots in Oak Cliff is probably my favorite shows.
Oh, I bet.
They're so supportive of the arts out there.
Right.
It's always just great crowds. And Hector is fucking great. Hector is always doing shows. Like I did a show with him at Art Mission Oak Cliff. He recently did a show in Bishop Arts area at Wild Detective for his birthday. We're doing this Top 10 record show now. And then I'm doing Addison Improv for the first time at the end of the month with
nice, buddy.
Crux Cofford. Yeah, we're doing an Anne Friend show.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. And those shows do so well.
Yeah.
I got to go out to who did I go? Chris Hopkins and Flo Hernandez a while back.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
that was a good show I got to go see.
Taylor recently opened for Flo.
Oh, really?
In Deep Ellum.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. That's awesome.
I think Chris was on that show as well, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. So there's a lot of shit coming to the comedy scene. Please go check out CAIN stuff. Please go follow him. Click on the link to go see all the 2-6 Mafia shows. Please follow anyone that we brought up during the episode. They're all our good friends. Unless we talk shit about them, then fuck them. Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll bleep their names out.
Other than that, thanks for watching another episode of the Dingbat District. Keep coming back for more of CAIN and our friends. Bye.
Bye.